in the middle, because those are the guys that you expect to get it done.
Absolutely. Get the table set and then let those guys in the middle go to work and do their thing. And it can't be solo shots. It's got to be the singles, then the shot, or the 3-run home run, as it was in years past. Walk, a bloop, a bomb. And that's what they're looking for, is that type of offense.
Well, Cargo got him off to a good start yesterday with a 3-run home run in the first. Jorge De La Rosa, he has been marvelous of late. The Rockies are 5-0 in his last 5 starts. De La Rosa will try to tame the Brewers when we come back to Coors Field. Warm and hot as we begin the weekend at Coors Field. The Rockies welcome in the Milwaukee Brewers. They opened the season against the Brew Crew and swept them at Miller Park. And the former Brewer, way back in 2004, Jorge De La Rosa, will take the mound looking for career win in a Rockies uniform number 74. He's 4-2 overall, and he's pitching the best baseball of his year so far over the last several weeks. Gene Segura, the shortstop for the Brewers, will lead things off. Carlos Gomez still nursing a leg injury. He's going to be out in all likelihood for a couple more days. And so Segura slides up to the top spot in Craig Counsell's lineup. That's right, new manager for the Milwaukee Brewers as of the beginning of May. And his lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Gerardo Parra, the former Diamondback, will bat second. Then Ryan Braun, Jonathan Lucroy, the veteran Aramis Ramirez at third, struggling at 210. Jason Rogers, big powerful guy at first base. Shane Peterson will play left field to bat seventh. Hernan Perez will bat eighth. He's at second base. And the former Texas Longhorn on the mound, Taylor Youngman. Well, George, De La's on one of those rolls of late.
He is on a roll. 47 2/3 on the year, 48 strikeouts. Most impressive to me, you've got to go back to 2013. He's gone 22-4 at Coors Field. Amazing. The last 5 starts, he's 4-0 with a 256 earned run average. The opposition has hit just 173 against De La Rosa.
And we talked about it last Sunday when he took the mound in Miami, Florida, that the Rockies needed De La Rosa, who's their ace, to be a stopper, and he was. The Rockies won last Sunday in Miami. Unfortunately, they've lost every game since then, 4 straight to Houston. So again, they asked De La Rosa to be a stopper and turn things in the other direction. So we're set for baseball. touched 100 degrees, at least on my car thermometer. It did earlier. Temperature at first pitch is 86 degrees here at 20th and Blake. Glad, of course, you're along, and the first pitch of the ball game is in there, a strike on Segura. Segura, a talented shortstop, hitting .270. He's a guy whose name keeps coming up in trade rumors, George, with a couple of other guys on this Milwaukee team, most notably Carlos Gomez in center field.
Well, you're right, and I think the one team that's probably targeting Segura is the San Diego Padres, as they try to tighten up the middle of their infield. It's just a matter of whether the Milwaukee Brewers and Doug Melvin decide to open up the trade gates and start getting rid of money. Try to. I think they'd like to probably trade a Kyle Lohse if they could. Some different starters. People looking for starting pitching.
And Kyle Lohse has a 6+ ERA. Maybe tough to move right now. There's Counsell. He'll forever be 18 years old, right?
I'm telling you, he doesn't shave, does he?
Oh no. Toward the middle of the diamond, DJ's got it, and by a half a step he gets Segura, who looks back at his manager as if to say, hey, we're going to challenge this. I thought with the naked eye he was out.
Well, I did too, but the phone call, first play of the game, goes upstairs. Everybody's standing, everybody's waiting. Yeah, I'll take another look. Great play by DJ. Got to the baseball, then the snap throw over.
Freeze it.
Ooh.
And that's
a little bit late on the freeze, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I can see Craig's going to go ahead and challenge it. Bill Miller, the home plate umpire. And then the umpire of questioning is play at first base, Doug Eddings.
Yeah, I don't know if you can overturn that. I mean, it is darn close, but I don't know if there's enough evidence that clearly suggests the foot's on the bag before the ball's in the back of the glove. We've heard that term used, back of the glove.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's has it contacted leather yet, or is it in the back of the glove when his foot hit the bag?
It is time for a Subaru review. Did not take long. With whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. DJ ended up taking that on the forehand. I thought he was going to take it backhand. That was quick. Out. They didn't waste time. So Segura is out. And Jorge De La Rosa can set his sights now on Gerardo Parra.
A long time pause there. I mean, they made it pretty quick. They didn't let the batter get in the batter's box, as we endured the other day with DJ LeMahieu. And they called Charlie Blackmon out on a delayed appeal.
Parra's gotten a lot of playing time. He was kind of the fourth outfielder. He's always been more of a platoon guy. Chris Davis went down with a knee injury, so Parra's playing every day. And he has responded.
Now, 281. I've always thought he's a very nice player. Can play all three outfield positions for you. He's going to swing the bat a little bit, steal a base occasionally.
I'm with you, George. I've always felt like he is a really good fourth outfielder on an outstanding team. And he could start for a lot of clubs. And that was misjudged by Charlie Blackmon. He just didn't see the baseball evidently, because it should have been a relatively easy play. Instead, it goes as a double for Parra, his 15th double of the year. You don't see Charlie misjudge many things.
No, he did about 4 steps in on this baseball, and it just had a lot of backspin on it to dead center field. I think that's the misconception here by Charlie. When the ball gets hit, you're going to see Charlie take about 2 or 3 steps in, and then all of a sudden realize, whoop, I got to get back on this thing. It's got a lot of backspin and carry. And again, I think that goes along, Drew, with the heat in the Denver area right now. That ball get a little more flight to it.
And the ball was jumping during batting practice, to your point, George. Ryan Braun is up. Braun had a huge May. He's cooled off considerably in June. He's dealt with a bad thumb once again. He had surgery on it last year. He just took a shot in his thumb recently. He's 1 for his last 22, and this ball's crushed. And that ball's gone. Dead center field. Ryan Braun, who had been struggling, I guess isn't struggling anymore. A 2-run shot, and the Brewers are out front 2-0. Well, this is like the Houston series revisited. First inning runs.
Yeah, then you know what? You're exactly right. I want to see the pitch coming out of the hand of De La Rosa to see if it's elevated. Braun obviously set on the fastball. It appeared to be a fastball out of the hands of Jorge De La Rosa. You know, that right down the pike and a little bit on about thigh high for Braun, a very good low ball hitter. Watching him in batting practice today, the power display to the opposite field, and it came into play here in left center.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be surprised that Braun hit the ball out against De La Rosa, because I couldn't get the words out of my mouth and the ball was in the seats. But Braun was 10 for 14 against De La Rosa with 3 home runs coming in. So now it's 11 for 15 with 4 home runs.
12 RBIs, so there's been a lot of men on base when he's been to the plate swinging the bat.
And Braun is on the top of the charts offensively for the Brewers in a number of categories, and now he's 7 away from the Hall of Famer Robin Yount. He's driven in more than 800 runs in his Brewer career. So the Rockies once again will have to play uphill. Milwaukee's lost 6 consecutive games coming in, and they're 20 games beneath 500, 24 and 44. Remember the first series of the year, Jonathan Lucroy couldn't buy a hit. He was 0 for 12 against the Rockies. Started the season out in a horrendous slump. Then he broke his big toe. Since coming back, he's hitting just a shade under 300.
Well, he's the player he was a year ago, being an all-star.
This guy's a really good player.
Great
really
player.
Good two-way player.
You watch and look at him. Is he your typical catcher body? When you get up close to him, not really. But he really utilizes himself, works very hard at the game, the art of catching.
It's funny you mention that, George, because I had a conversation with him around the cage today. It's the 2-2 from De La Rosa. He went to Louisiana Lafayette. Nothing wrong with Louisiana Lafayette. It's a good baseball program, really good baseball program, in fact. I asked him, you know, were you recruited from Florida? I said, were you recruited by any of the big boys? And he said, no. He said, I barely got recruited. And I said, were you a late bloomer? He said, my senior year in high school, in 25 games, I hit 10 home runs. I hit 400, put up big numbers. He said, but back when I was coming out, those big-time programs wanted the big catcher. And as you said, he's not a huge guy. Doesn't really have that catcher body. Tulowitzki throws him out. 2 outs. Let's glance at the Rockies defensively. It is the familiar threesome now in the outfield. Barnes, Blackman, and Cargo. Arenado, Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, and Ben Paulson in the infield. And Nick Hundley is doing the catching. Mike McHenry caught yesterday afternoon. Rockies fell 8-4. They lost all 4 against the Houston Astros. There's Nick. He's had a really fine season for the Rockies. And you know what? Nick's got kind of a similar body type to Lucroy. They're in great shape. You know, they're 195-pound guys that really take superb care of themselves. They're not the 235-pound kind of blocky catcher that, you know, we've often seen.
Ramirez, surprisingly, against left-handers this year, 3 for 30. Just 100.
Yeah, he announced before the season started that this would be his final year in baseball. He's had a marvelous career. His bat lately looks like he retired early. This ball's well hit, though, to right field. Ball really carrying. Cargo leaps, can't get it. Opposite field home run for Ramirez, his 8th. And it's 3-0 Milwaukee. This is a team that has not swung the bats very well. They came in with a .233 team average.
Well, the bat woke up on that pitch. It didn't look like that bad a pitch. We show the 8th home run is 377th of his career. That's a bunch, folks. Now take a look at the pitch on the Subaru Supermo right out of the hand of Jorge De La Rosa. A fastball that was elevated away on the outer half of the plate. All-time third baseman. He's 8th now with 377, one shy of Matt Williams. And you see a great effort by Cargo. Tried to get up to get to the baseball, just out of his reach.
Jason Rogers at the plate. And he takes a slider for a strike. Coming into this evening's ball game, the Brewers were dead last in batting average in the National League. In terms of runs scored, they were second from last. Adam Lind gets most of the starts at first base for the Brewers, but against the lefty they're going with Rogers. In his 11 starts coming up, they're 7-4, so he's had an impact. We're talking to Billy Schroeder, Brian Anderson, our counterparts on the television side with Milwaukee, and they're really impressed with Rogers. They said, man, this kid really battles.
Look how big he is. And he reminds me a little bit, I mean, a shorter version, but look at the size of his shoulders and arms. Those are the kind of guys that can get fooled every now and then. They hit the ball out of the ballpark on you, Drew, because they're so strong.
Well, we haven't said this in a while. A rough inning for De La Rosa. A couple of home runs, 3-0 Milwaukee. The lineup for Walt Weiss is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Charlie will be followed by DJ LeMahieu. He's hitting 5th in the National League, or he's 5th in the National League in batting average at .325. Tulowitzki next. Troy has really swung the bat well the last 3 weeks. Then Cargo. We were discussing how he's heated up during the Open. Nolan Arenado with 51 RBIs. That's 4th best in the National League, and he's done well against the Brewers. Ben Paulson, Nick Hundley, Brandon Barnes, and then De La Rosa. And making his 3rd major league start is Taylor Youngman. He was the #1 pick 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, out of the University of Texas, 12th overall by the Brewers. He's a big, tall kid, 6'7", and everybody with the Brewers, as soon as you ask him about Youngman, they said, well, he reminds us of Jared Weaver, how he crossfires.
A lot hard thrower, though. You're talking about a guy to run it to 92, 93 at times. He's ahead, strike 1 to Charlie. Trying to come inside. Difficult for a guy that crosses that much. Charlie with a ground ball. They'll flip it. He'll be able to make the play first on Charlie. You look at his numbers too at Colorado Springs. That's their new AAA affiliate now since the Rockies moved to Albuquerque. And at Colorado Springs, he was 2-3 in 11 ball games, 9 starts. His earned run average 6.37. But in 59 innings, 59 and a third, he only gave up 61 hits, but 44 runs, 42 earned, a couple of home runs. He hit 4, walked 29.
And that's one of the problems with Colorado Springs.
You just don't know what you're going to get. And then here at the big league level, just totally opposite. You know, it's 2 starts, 225 earned run average.
Tough place to pitch.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a tough thing to hit too. Whenever you crossfire that far from the right side, and he's on the right side of the rubber, and you're a right-handed hitter.
His numbers through 2 starts are really impressive. Guys haven't squared him up a lot. DJ fouls this off. It's 0-2.
Crossfire and a switch, a very quick short arm action. You're going to see now home plate's coming this way. So if you're the hitter standing there, now go ahead and let it roll and come forward if you can real quick. You can see how far he's stepping across. So look how far he's firing back to home plate. Pretty amazing that everything stays together. Nothing's gotten hurt yet.
He won the Dick Hauser Award his last year in Texas as the Player of the Year in college baseball. He was the Pitcher of the Year in the Big 12. He was a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award. Highly decorated player for the Longhorns. Augie Garrido. 1-2 on DJ.
And because of his power in college, he was 96 in college. It's backed up a little bit. He was a 2-pitch pitcher, and he's still developing the changeup, trying to add to it, but he'll try to attack you with just fastball, breaking ball.
And now the count runs full on LeMahieu. 368 career hitter against the Brewers. And there's the batting race in the National League. Paul Goldschmidt has overtaken D. Gordon. Bryce Harper had to leave yesterday's game with a hamstring strain. He got it throwing the baseball. Kind of slipped in the outfield. Escobar and then DJ. And this is a ground ball that's picked off there by Ramirez. Nice play. Well, in the outfield, you have Shane Peterson, Gerardo Parra with the big arm at center. Ryan Braun moved from left to right in the offseason. Aramis Ramirez, Gene Segura. Segura can pick it. Hernan Perez and Jason Rogers on the right side with Jonathan Lucroy, last year an all-star catcher for the National League. 2 outs, and Tulowitzki will step up. Two for 5 yesterday for Troy. He's reached in 19 consecutive games. He has a hit in 16 of his last 17. Fastball at 94. Most of his fastballs this inning have been 93 or 94.
See, and a guy like this that has that misdirection too, I think as a team you're waiting to see what happens too. That ball's going to get down. No, Parra, we've seen that a few times out of him.
It hung up long enough for Parra to close the gap and get there. A 1-2-3 start for Taylor Youngman. 3-0 Brewers.
to the second inning. It's a Fan Friday. We want you to use the hashtag FanFridayZBB and hit us up at @RootSports_RM. We do have a pair of tickets to give away to the Zach Brown Band concert here at Coors Field in a couple of weeks. Now, the promotion today was a Topps baseball card promotion, and I've got a pack of Topps 2015 cards in the 1966 Heritage style. Let's see what I get. It was always exciting to open up your packs. Some RBI leaders, so Stanton's on there along with Gonzalez. I got a Carlos Martinez of the Cardinals, Yasmani Grandal, Jared Parker. You get a Nolan Ryan in these packs, which is kind of neat. Danny Duffy, Petit from San Fran, Napoli, Garrett Cole, having a great year for the Pirates. So if you have a card collection, some autographs, some cool cards, just hit us up on Twitter at @RootSports_RM. We're doing that all night, guys.
That sounds like fun. I had a friend of mine who's got a card shop in town, Mark. He sent me a text today with a picture of a Mickey Mantle rookie card he just bought.
He paid a lot of money.
He paid a lot of money for it. Yep.
One of the cool things, Robert Taylor lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a huge Mickey Mantle fan. His dad, or excuse me, his uncle, Cliff Mapes, was the last guy to wear Mickey's numbers. Actually, before Mickey took over the job of with the Yankees, and there's a picture of Cliff and him shaking hands on one of Mickey's first home runs. But he's got a Mantle collection that's just crazy. Got the bats. He and Mickey became very good friends. And Mickey gave him some autographed bats and things before he passed. Jerseys. I mean, it's nuts.
Shane Peterson with the bid for a base hit. He'll leg this one out. So another former Long Beach standout making his impact in the big leagues. He had a terrific day defensively yesterday in their loss 3-2 to the Kansas City Royals. Good effort by DJ.
Yeah, really good effort. We've seen an awful lot of this out of DJ, being able to pick that ball up the middle, nothing to do but just jump, throw, and hope you beat him there. And he just came up a little short with Peterson.
Hernan Perez at the plate.
Say the first name again. Oh man, that got him. That got Hundley good. Everything just went dead in that arm. Wow. You know, they cover up the shoulder, but they don't cover up other parts of that arm. You obviously can't do that on the Subaru Super Mo. You see this foul tip get out and catch him. Caught him right on the shoulder.
Perez was picked up, George, on waivers from Detroit. He was with the Tigers earlier and didn't hit. He was 2 for 33. And now he's in a platoon a little bit with Scooter Gennett.
Well, a scout somewhere saw him play well, saw him swing the bat okay. Threw him out on waivers.
This ball's crushed to left center field. Going back is Barnes, and it's off the top of the wall. Around third, here comes Peterson, and no throw. And it is 4-0. Single and a double by Perez, and he has his first National League RBI.
Yeah, a lot of these pitches have been hit hard tonight off Jorge have been up in the strike zone. This is none different. Belt high, a spread, much out over the top of the plate. Just takes it out into left center field, just shy of a couple of feet shy of getting out of the ballpark. You'll see it hit right at the top of the fence there. How come they keep hitting them when we don't have guys? I don't like that.
Now, lately, you'd have to put some guys over the other side of the fence. Houston was red hot hitting the long ball, and Milwaukee hit 2 in the first inning. And that ball by Perez almost went out. Youngman fouls that pitch off. It's 1-1. De La Rosa has been so good of late. It's a rough start thus far, but we've seen De La Rosa. He understands how to win here better than anybody. We've seen him have starts that were uneven, and then next thing you know, he threw up a bunch of zeros and he gave his club a chance.
And they usually come back and win those ball games, and I hope that's what's going to happen here. When he does cut himself short, the walks become prevalent. That hasn't happened today. Just 9 balls out of 32 pitches thrown, so he's in the strike zone with everything.
He was dominant in Miami last Sunday, a run in 7 innings on just 4 hits. Beat the Cardinals his last home start, allowed 2 runs and just 3 hits in 7 innings, struck out 8. Here's something we've never told you folks about De La Rosa. He is one of the 3 strongest Rockies on their current roster. You got some big, strong guys. I mean, Tulowitzki, the way he takes care of himself. Cargo's a strong guy. Rosario, strong guy. De La Rosa, again, baggy uniforms. You can't tell, George, but you know we see these guys every day. De La Rosa really works at it in the weight room.
Well, I think again it's a guy trying to capitalize on his trade, and he's done just that. Now the walk here after being ahead, misses outside, and he'll walk Youngman, the pitcher.
So 2 on, nobody out, and that'll bring up Gene Segura. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. 3 active pitchers lead a franchise in victories: De La Rosa, Ricky Nolasco, and James Shields. But De La Rosa is the only pitcher that is still pitching for that team. Shields leads Tampa Bay. Nolasco has the most wins in Marlins history.
Segura this year has handled the left side from the pitching rubber as far as that's concerned. He's hit .375 against left-handers. And the reason the RBI totals have jumped a little bit, he's .324 with runners in scoring position. He was thrown out on a nice play by DJ LeMahieu to start this ball game.
See if De La Rosa can get a ground ball here. First and second, nobody out, and a run in. Ground ball smashed to third. Arenado's going to get 1 there, and that's it. Going to get the lead runner, Perez, and it'll be first and second, 1 out. Good stop by Nolan.
Ball hit very hard right at Nolan. I think Nolan, if he doesn't spin around there, realize to maybe try to turn 2. You have the pitcher running, but you have Segura who is running up the line, so it's going to be difficult to turn it. Go get your lead runner. He did a good job with that. Here's knowing your situation, who's running and who's not, and what to do with the baseball. 1 out. 5 hits for the Brewers in this ball game.
Parra hit a line drive to center field that was misjudged by Blackman, turned into a double. Gerardo 5 for 22 lifetime against De La Rosa. Now, Gerardo Parra and Carlos Gonzalez came up together in the Arizona Diamondback organization, and they remain very good friends. Talk regularly. It's a pretty good young outfield. Imagine seeing those guys when they were 17.
No, and I don't want to play against them because they think about their arms on the mound too. They played everything then.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Cargo coming out for the pitch to the 8th and 7th inning from a 14 and under game? I don't think so.
No thanks. And Parra's got a huge arm also. 1-1. This should be 2. And a 6-4-3 turn. In the inning, a Peterson infield single turns into a run when Perez doubles off the left center field wall. 4-0 Brewers, middle of 2. Your hometown Toyota stores. Let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. This is a popular place to be. Any place you can find a sprinkler, a fountain, a pool. When the temperature's in the 90s, I'm in. Brewers right now leading 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Mark Stout on this Fan Friday. Cargo is going to lead things off in the second inning. Then Arenado and Paulson against young Taylor Youngman. Milwaukee does not shift much. They still have Gene Segura on the left side, and that pitch is down low. Time for our big hit presented by Mako. Turn the car you drive into the car you love. Cargo's been doing this a lot lately. 3 straight games, in fact, with a home run. George said yesterday that ball got out in the nanosecond. And that's a strike, 1-1.
Now, so far, Youngman's been sitting at 92 miles an hour and has the ability to throw that fastball on that crossfire inside the left-handers. With Charlie to ground out in the first inning.
And that's down the left field line, and it's going to land foul by about 15 feet. Each of Cargo's last 6 hits have been extra base hits. 4 bombs and a couple of doubles. That's when you know he's starting to feel like himself. But he's not totally locked in. There's a lot more there. And this is a bouncer to second.
You know, a strange thing happened yesterday at the ballpark. The Houston Astros struck out 17 times and scored 8 runs. That has happened 13 times since 2001, 17 times overall. And a team that has struck out 17 times has a 9-6 record.
Isn't that something?
That's crazy.
And there it is for you. 17 strikeouts. You don't normally think of a team winning. Arenado 278, 16 home runs, 51 driven in, and that pitch is off the plate. Home plate umpires Bill Miller, Doug Eddings at first, Jim Wolf at second, Adrian Johnson is at third. Arenado 6 for 13 in that opening series in Milwaukee. You could make an argument, actually a very convincing argument, that the best series the Rockies have played this year was that opening series in Milwaukee. Now, they played a great one at AT Park in San Francisco and sweeping the Giants. But that series against the Brewers to begin the season was impressive.
Well, I like the 10th inning home run that Rosario hit to win the game on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from K-Rod. I mean, that the type of thing that went on there. You thought, boy, this is going to be fun. A fun year, and it still can be. I think he's just got to turn around. He's got to turn around in a hurry.
Arenado's out on the ground ball to Gene Segura. 2 outs. Ben Paulson will come up. Well, the Rockies swung the bats great. They had the timely hit in extra innings that George alluded to, the pinch hit home run by Rosario. They also threw the ball great. Maybe Kyle Kendrick's best start came in his first start in a Rockies uniform. 7 shutout innings on opening day in Milwaukee. Against a lineup on paper, George, that's pretty formidable. I mean, you had Braun and Lucroy, Aramis Ramirez, Carlos Gomez, you kidding me, leading off. Pretty good lineup.
Well, it was a great lineup. That's kind of the same comments we had when we went to Cincinnati and you looked at their lineup. How could they be in this position? So there's a pigeon right in front of Perez.
At second
and
base.
I know there's not any corn. I know there's no sunflower seeds, but he's pecking away at something.
And Hernandez trying to get him to move, and he moves like a foot.
Yeah, well, it's dinner time. Could be from all the players out there playing and throwing the seeds around a little bit.
Ben Paulson behind 1 and 2. Ben is 1 for his last 15.
You don't even know 35,000 people are watching him sit out here on the dirt right now.
I think if Ben hits a hot shot in that direction, he'll move quickly.
You know, I was all part of that seagull thing with Dave Winfield in Toronto. A lot of people don't remember that. There's been some highlights of it. But
I remember that. I blame you.
We were playing catch, and he goes, "Hey, I bet I can hit that seagull." I said, "Don't hit the seagull," and they hit it. He went to jail that night and had to bail him out.
It's right at the bird. He moved. And safe at first is Paulson. The bird helped out the Rockies.
How about that? Perez threw the ball to the wrong guy.
That bird, cow. That bird has purple wings. An infield hit for Paulson.
Yeah, now watch this, because Youngman's going to get over there, but they also have a play, and then the first baseman's like jumping in there, and then the bird's like, "Hey, wait a minute, let me get flight of this ball." Atta baby. Subaru Supermo, come back, throw more seeds in the infield.
Jason Rogers kind of got caught in no man's land.
Yeah, but Rogers was at the bag. I mean, if Perez fires it, they get Paulson. Make him pay for it.
Here's Hundley. I'm not even going to read this. Look what Doug just wrote for me on a notepad.
You want me to read it?
I want you to read it, because it's beyond silly.
Doug.
You're not going to read it either.
No. Doug.
We always sing his praises. Why not embarrass him?
All right, I'm going to do this. Hey, Dougie, how about this one? Find me how many guys got an infield single with a pigeon on the right side of the infield. Can you look that up for me?
That'll end the inning. We'll go to the third. The Rockies trailing 4-0.
So we want your tweets about some of your baseball cards. You can also use Instagram at @rootsports_RM, #FanFridayZBB. Look at this one that comes in from Natasha. Yes, a Huey Donruss from 1990. Interesting, Huey wore number 15, and then he was traded by the Expos April 2nd of 1990 to the Texas Rangers. So he wasn't even on Montreal in 1990, but that goes back. That's a Donruss card from the 90s. Drew and George, I was talking to Scott Oberg today. His dad worked for Score, which was a card company down in Dallas for a bunch of years. He says he's got boxes of cards just at his house, unopened.
Well, he's got some money sitting in the garage.
Probably, right?
Yeah, he does.
He's going to bring some by for us, huh?
We could ask him. He said he's got tons of them.
All right, Mark. Interesting evening going out there in center field. Ryan Braun saw one pitch from De La Rosa, and he hit it over the center field wall, a 2-run home run. He's now 11 for 15 against De La Rosa with 4 home runs lifetime.
Yeah, he got a pitch down in the happy zone and took advantage of it. Dead center staked him to a 2-0 very quick lead. They added another run on a home run by Ramirez in right field. Behind 2-0 on
14 home runs for Braun. 43 driven in. Here's the 2-0. And Taylor wouldn't give in with the fastball. He throws that good changeup for a strike. Whenever you have a guy who has ridiculous numbers against a pitcher with a lot of at-bats, and 15's, a fair number of at-bats, it always, for me, brings up Sean Green against Mike Hampton, which was left on left, too, which is a little odd. He was like, Doug, you'll look it up for me, he was like 12 for 16 with 5 home runs, something ridiculous. I'm sure you had one of those guys in your career, George, that you might as well throw it underhand.
I think it was Doug Flynn.
Really? And Doug was kind of a light-hitting guy.
Very light-hitting. I mean, he didn't hit any home runs off of me, but he got hits.
On the occasion that you were to run into him, would you talk to him now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. Just like all the guys that didn't have success, they ought to say hi to. Right?
I suppose. 3-2, De La Rosa against Braun. Lucroy on deck. 4-0 Milwaukee, top of 3 at Coors Field. Is that the same? Is that the same bird?
Where is he?
He's
on the wire. Oh, there he is, over by first.
He's waiting carefully for an opportunity to help out the home club. Got a nice perch up there. And De La Rosa wins this battle as he strikes out Braun. Second strikeout for De La.
990 in his major league career now.
Okay, after this pitch, I'll tell you about the numbers Sean Green had against Mike Hampton.
Very good split finger there. Got him well out on the front foot and struck him out. 18 for what?
18 for 29, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. You would have drilled them.
More than once.
Right. And how about this? Paul Goldschmidt against Lincecum, because you know that one's lopsided, right?
Right. Here's a line drive base hit by Lou Croy.
Look what Goldschmidt's done. 15 for 28 against Tim Lincecum. This is a 2-time Cy Young winner. Hansco's a terrific pitcher. 7 home runs. Paul Goldschmidt against Tim Lincecum.
I'm saying you just walk him. Walk him or drill him.
I know how you think. Save 3 pitches.
Save 3 pitches. Save 4 bases.
Aramis Ramirez homered to the opposite field. He hit one in the Rockies bullpen in a 3-run first frame for Milwaukee. 6 hits already for the Brewers. So Milwaukee just came from a 2-game set at Kauffman Stadium against the high-flying Royals. And everybody I talked to was just raving again about the arms that the Royals have out of the bullpen. They have 2 guys in their rotation that throw 100. And that's past the diving Tulowitzki. And Lucroy is going to go first to third.
Well, one of those arms, unfortunately, was put on the disabled list today, Ventura, which is a big arm to be put on there. But they got more in the minors, trust me. It's loaded up pretty good in the Kansas City organization. Look at this. It appeared to be either a cut fastball or slider that was coming into the hands. Tulo playing over into the hole. Made a great diving catch for it just out of the reach of the glove and scoots into the outfield. Rene Francisco is a special assistant to Dayton Ward, works in the Latin American community for the Kansas City Royals. He has found some arms.
Here's Jason Rogers. He struck out his first time. He takes ball one. The Brewers, over their last 6 games, all losses, had scored only 13 runs. They hit .215 during the 6-game losing streak, and their ERA was 6.75. But they're off to a fast start here. First and third, 1 out. Pitches away, 2-0. That was another off-speed pitch. De La Rosa can get ground balls with multiple pitches in his arsenal. At
one point, it was 29 strikes and 8 balls, and that's kind of flipped around the other way now. He's thrown 5 strikes since then at 10 balls.
And ball 4 on 4 pitches, and now they're loaded up for Shane Peterson. And this is interesting. This is Walt Weiss going out right now, George.
Well, things don't look right. Is it the groin? Is it the finger? What could it be? But something didn't look right to Nick Hundley, and that's why Walt's making the walk out there right now.
Looked like one of those, "Are you okay? You telling me the truth?"
Yeah, look me in the eye and tell me what you got going on. The Brewers this year have had a few opportunities. 13 for 35 with the bases loaded, 4 doubles, 2 grand slams. They hit .371. Peterson's only had 1 at bat this year with the bases loaded.
Shane Peterson, an infield hit. And that bounces up there. It's 1-0.
Well, when you just saw the walking behind and count, left on left, Peterson did have the base hit, but it might be taken until I get a strike.
Lucroy, Ramirez, Rogers all on. 2 singles and a walk. 2-0. Mentioned Peterson's from Long Beach State, along with Troy Tulowitzki. There have been 16 different dirtbags to play in the big leagues this year. Oh, you had a good draft, George. You had 11 or 12 drafted.
12 total players drafted off that club, the most by any college this year in baseball. A lot of late round.
Spilly's alma mater was tied for second. They had 11 guys drafted. UCSB. Boy, it's a struggle right now for De La Rosa. 3-1. Peterson 7 for his last 15 at the plate. Perez on deck. Wow.
Yeah, I know it's 4-0 ball game, left on left.
Got him
Then
to chase.
change up on a 3-1 count. I mean, it's a great pitch, but it's ball 4. Gave a chase on it. Good time, good idea. You got to be thinking as a hitter, though. If he did it 3-1, he's probably going to do it 3-2, isn't he? And that's what you got to be thinking. I hope he swings and misses this one too.
He went fastball and just missed. And that forces in a run, the 5th run for the Brewers. Jonathan Lucroy jogs to the dugout. Hernan Perez, a double off the top of the wall in left center field to drive in a run last inning.
Let's see what they go to. Appears to be Christian Bergman threw a perfect inning yesterday, right? The afternoon game, or was it the night before? Threw a clean inning in the ball game. And take a look at yesterday's ball game.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. He's up and throwing again, trying to buy some time for the Rockies.
Ball's pulled foul.
Nice catch. Did he catch it? No, he didn't. All right.
He corralled it.
He saved everybody around him. He bit a little leather down there. Yeah, take a look at it. We'll see what you got. All right, I got it. I got it. Somebody take it. Ooh, that was a bad miss. Stuck his hat up. He digged him.
That's going to go foul down the right field line. The Rockies and Brewers both have been slightly better out on the road than they've been at home. The Brewers more wins out on the road than at home. The Rockies are 13-20 at home. It's hard to believe. There's the strikeout at Perez. 2 outs. And that'll bring up the pitcher Youngman. Youngman walked his first time up. With every challenge call, the Subaru EyeSight review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. One ball, one strike. Brewers came to Coors Field last year, Frazier. Remember that? They swept the Rockies.
I didn't really want to remember that, but I do remember that.
And the Rockies, prior to that had won 6 straight against Milwaukee. And now it's, at least coming into tonight, it swung back the other way. The Rockies swept the Brewers at Miller Park opening weekend, or opening 3 days of the season. 2-1, and this is on the ground to DJ. In the inning, a run comes around on a bases loaded walk to Shane Peterson. So the Brewers have scored in every inning. They're up 5-0.
Fan Friday ZBB. We still have pairs of Zach Brown Band tickets to give away. They'll be here at Coors Field in a couple of weeks. Root Sports _RM on Twitter or Instagram. All right, baseball card giveaway tonight. So here's a couple of young guys. Carlos Martinez pitched for the Cardinals against the Rocks this year. Jared Parker of the A's. We also got a tweet in about, there's the Mantles and the Boggs and the established guys. What about Carlos Correa and some of the young players like that? Well, take a look at this Carlos Correa tweet that he put out. This is a bat that Troy Tulowitzki signed for Correa. And I know you know the story, Drew. I mean, watching Correa play with the Astros the last 4 days, that guy is impressive, and I can see why he wants to thank Tulo.
Well, he wrote on there that, you have a bright future, and he said, stay humble and keep working hard. And Troy understands the history of this game. I mean, he's a baseball guy through and through, 24/7, and he believes on not only passing the mantle but welcoming another talented young player to the brotherhood, if you will.
Well, somebody showed him that same exact deal when he was first coming around the game of baseball. So somebody showed that to Troy, and it's a matter of being able to pass the baton and take the leadership role of younger players, show them the proper way to play the game.
So again, that was tweeted out by Carlos Correa because that was a gift from Troy at the end of the series. Troy Tulowitzki autographed bat, and that message was on there to Correa, and he really obviously appreciated it. And that's a young man that was raised right and handles himself very well. And two of the guys that he idolized, Tulowitzki and Derek Jeter. I don't know if there's been a shortstop in the last 25 years growing up that didn't idolize Jeter, and many now Tulowitzki. That was called a strike on the swing. Barnes is out.
Overhead. I want to see this on the overhead shot. Maybe see it here in a minute.
Oh no, it wasn't on the swing, it was on the pitch.
And it looks like it totally fooled Lucroy. He was looking for something else. I mean, yeah, it catches the plate and it does. That's a strike.
Yeah, he thought it was a breaking ball.
Yeah, he wasn't looking for this, I guarantee you. He was kind of self-defense, swung, took it off the chest protector, looks to find the baseball, and then they say, all right, strike three. That was a weird play.
De La Rosa with one out. Rockies trying to turn things around. They've lost 8 of 9. They're down 5-0. They've been out hit 7-1 already, and we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. See that? Guy made a nice grab.
I tell you, today at the hotel, a lot of Brewer fans. And saw 3 different cars come in from Wisconsin plates. How about that? That's a long drive, boys. They're coming in to watch the ball game here at Coors Field. He said, I always wanted to see this ballpark. I said, well, it's a pretty one.
Stu Cole had as much interest in trying to field that ground ball as he would to wrestle a bear.
You know, I tell you what, and I haven't coached first or third a lot, but enough. In the minor leagues, you didn't have guys to coach first, so that if you pitched the day before, a lot of times you coach first. I never wanted to catch one of those things.
That's too hot. This ball's pretty well hit left center field, and it is run down by Peterson. He's been a highlight reel lately. See some of the plays he's made on the national shows, MLB Network, ESPN. Look at this.
He really cheated over to the foul line to have a chance at it. But yesterday he made another one of these catches in Kansas City on a ball that was hit very hard. And he takes off on the fly here and just lays out. He doesn't catch that baseball. It's against the wall, and a lot of good things going to happen for Kansas City. Nice play. Here's another one at Coors Field here tonight. Just outran the fly to the baseball.
2 outs, nobody on. Charlie Blackmon grounded to second, and Charlie takes ball 1. Kirk Neuenhuis, the Denverite, was waived by the Mets recently, and who picked him up? Was it the Angels who picked him up?
I think it was Toronto, and then he was put back out again. Angels, whatever. The Mets got him back again, and then they designated him again.
At a Denver Christian High School. 1 ball, 1 strike on Charlie.
There's a lot of teams now, the Dodgers being one of those guys. They claim just about everybody. They try to keep 2 roster spots open. They'll claim players, keep them on the roster for about a week, and then after that they'll throw them back out again if nobody takes them. Then they'll have them as minor league safety valves or minor league stock to help them get a little better.
Yeah, he's with the Angels. He's in their organization.
He was with the Angels, back with the Mets now.
5-0 Brewers. Go further by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com, and by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. The great amphitheaters in the world, certainly one of the great natural amphitheaters in the world, Red Rocks. Milwaukee 5, the Rockies nothing as we go to the 4th. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Mark Stout. Jorge De La Rosa looking for a quick, clean inning. He has not had one of those yet. It'll be the top of the order. Gene Segura for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 2. De La Rosa early in his career moved around quite a bit. See, he's already thrown 68 pitches, 30 more than the rookie Taylor Youngman. He tried the curveball and released it way up high. Now. De La Rosa was with Milwaukee and Kansas City, Arizona. Has found a home in Colorado for a number of years now. Ground ball deep in the hole. Tulowitzki. He's not going to be able to throw out Segura. He runs too well. Nice effort by Troy. Here's a tweet from Toyota Talk. Jolie Chassin signed a minor league contract with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, the one kicker to that, he can opt out of that deal by July 5th. if he's not at the major leagues. You're basically talking about a 2-week deal, maybe a couple of starts, and then 3 starts and gone. But he pitched well with Cleveland. 3.20 ERA, had a record of, I believe, 3-2 or 2-3, and pitched fairly well over there. Different in the PCL. We'll see what happens out here in the light air. Wish him all the best of luck.
Parra, ground ball toward the middle, and that'll get through also. And Segura is going to go first to third, and an ill-advised throw, perhaps. Nope. Arenado makes good. He fires to LeMahieu and gets Parra trying to move up on that throw by Blackman. So it goes as a 9-5-4 putout. 8-5-4. Did I say 9? 8-5-4.
Charlie put it right on the throw. I mean, if this ball's left or right of Nolan, that he had to go chase the baseball, just out of the reach of DJ, they're probably not going to have a play on Parra. But because of that, it allowed them to have the play. You see again on the Subaru Supermo, that ball get past DJ into the outfield. Charlie comes up firing, and it is a bullet into third base. And Nolan came off the bat, cut it off, knew he had a shot at Parra, and they did.
Infield in. Rockies obviously can't fall behind by any more than they currently are. And it's bounced foul by Braun. 5 runs, 9 hits for the Brewers. Braun hit a 2-run home run in the first, struck out on a 3-2 pitch in the third. Braun a lifetime .304 average, so it's unusual to see his average down to .251. And that hit him. So Braun to first, that'll bring up Lucroy. A lot of base runners. There's been 2 walks, a hit batter, 9 hits. That's 12 base runners, George, in 3 1/3.
Yeah, that hit right on the shin guard. He thought it was going to get on that back leg, but it caught him. Yeah, it's way too many base runners. And that pitch total has jumped now to 75. Lucroy had a base hit, scored a run in the 3rd inning. Grounded out to shortstop on a nice play by
Braun's looking into that sun. He's trying to see that his issue. He doesn't have to catch a ball. He's trying to see Ed Cedar at third. Braun can run. He's stolen 6 bases in 7 tries. Mr. Double, Jonathan Lucroy, set a record for catchers last year in doubles. He fouls that one off. Fourth in the MVP voting a year ago. .53 doubles.
I sure would like to have a good ground ball hit right at somebody, because you got speed at first, but not at the plate. Not a tremendous amount of speed at the plate, so you can turn it over.
Braun takes off, and this ball is in the air to Carr going right. Tagging at third is Segura, and it's plenty deep enough to get another run home. So Lucroy with his 11th RBI, and it's 6-0 Milwaukee. So that's a marker in every frame so far for Milwaukee. 3 in the first, a run in the second, a run in the third, now a run in the fourth.
Heavy shift to the left side on Ramirez. Ramirez homered and he singled.
De La Rosa, I'm sure thinking along with you at home, it's an opportunity for a straight steal here for Braun with the 6-run lead. Ramirez at the plate. Now Jeff has said this a lot. Jeff was a really good base stealer, that when he was at first and the pitcher threw over 2 times, especially a lefty, because you're going to go first move with a lefty, you almost figure, all right, it's not going to happen a 3rd time, go.
No, you're typically not going to. A lot of guys watch that lead front foot to see what it's going to do. Does he change the leg kick when he's coming over?
Ramirez a home run and a single. Reaches for that pitch, and it's down the first base line, and it's going to fall beyond the reach of Ben Paulson.
Hey, every Sunday home game this season is Bike to the Game, including this Sunday. Get more information on Rockies.com/green.
Braun takes off 0-2 and no throw. That ball was so far inside that really wasn't an angle for Hundley to throw. Ramirez has a right to stand there, and he ducked. So it's not.
7 stolen bases now for Braun, right? Well, the pitch brought it in too. He can stay in the batter's box all he wanted to. No throw. Braun with a big jump off De La Rosa.
Fisted to third. Skipped across to keep it out of the sun by Arenado. In the inning, another run for the Brewers. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, it's 6-0 Milwaukee.
In every inning, bottom 4, they're up 6-0. It's a Fan Friday. we do have Zach Brown Band tickets to give away. We have another pair. July 3rd, they'll be here at Coors Field. Use the hashtag FanFridayZBB at @RootsSports_RM, and you can Instagram us some photos. This is a Harmon Killebrew card from 1973. I love what it says on the back. Harmon enjoys watching television. Harmon Killebrew, one of the greatest Twins of all time, and I have another Twins card to show you after we see this pitch to DJ, and he goes to right with a base hit. This is a tweet that we got, a George Frazier card, and this is a scorecard from 1988. Now, Frazier, I know you played in '87. I like how you have the two-tone look.
Yeah, a little spring of '88 shot right there.
Right, spring of '88, the two-tone look.
Well, you know, what are you going to do? They have to wear what they give you, Mark. It beat what they had in Rochester, I can tell you that. I will guarantee you that. Yeah, one of my favorites. This is kind of one of my favorites here. It's a Minnesota Twin card. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to get a little bit closer. It's one of my favorites.
Let me see that one.
Sending it.
I used to put that in my bike spokes.
You did.
Yeah.
I know. When I was playing, Drew was 12. And he still keeps it in his bike spoke.
Every one of them's the same. The mustache never changed.
That's right.
This is my favorite.
Which one's that one?
The Yankee one.
Oh, yeah. The smile on the face.
It looks like you borrowed a glove. That wasn't your glove, was it? Was that your glove?
Well, yeah, Rawlings. Yeah, I wore Rawlings in Mizuno late in my career, but the Rawlings glove, yeah, probably was my glove. Just brand new. It was taken in spring training, probably. That's where it came from.
Did you know this one on the back of George's Fleer card with the Yankees in '84? Did you know he competed in track in high school and enjoys fishing?
They're true with both of those.
Let's see what this one says. Nothing. George Allen Frazier, born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
That's right. I was.
Home Tulsa.
It is. Plays
the viola.
No, I do not. If it said play the drums, that would be something else.
2-1 on Troy.
They start to look through this second time of the lineup. Will this be the one that they get after the youngster? You hope it is.
This is a tough hop, and it eats up Segura. LeMahieu will stop at second. That's got to be a hit. That's a tough play for Gene Segura.
I guarantee you, he didn't want anything to do with it. A base hit for Troy Tulowitzki, as it should be a base hit for him. This ball was, and if you want to stay in front of this, you're going to eat it off your chest pretty good. Segura went over and slid, tried to backhand the baseball.
So the Rockies an opportunity to get something going here. 2 on, nobody out. Cargo at the plate. And this ball is in the air, left center field, and it's cut off there by Peterson.
You know, just faded back to him. A left-handed hitter going against a right-handed pitcher going to opposite field. That ball's going to curve back to you. It did to Peterson.
One out. Arenado coming up. Who wants tacos? If the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. There goes DJ to third. He's going to swipe the bag without a throw from Lucroy.
Big high leg kick, and why not take advantage of it? Troy Tulowitzki not going to run. A lot of times you will throw behind to the trail runner and get him at second. Troy didn't go, and that's where Lucroy was going with the throw. They're going to give him the third base bag. Just too big a jump to even have a chance to throw it over there. But it's a big stolen base for Nolan. Fly ball, what do you get? You get an RBI out of it. Nolan has the most RBIs in the major league since May 24th with 30. Not even close. Stanton's got 23. He's going to add to it.
This ball's got to get down and it will. It's a gapper. Tulowitzki should score. And Nolan into second. He's going to hunt a triple now. And he's there. Two-run triple Nolan Arenado. And the Rockies have made it a 6-2 game.
53 RBIs now for Nolan Arenado. Big clapping too. Try to climb back into this ball game. The Rockies had one hit coming into the inning. They now have 4 and 2 runs on the board after this triple from Nolan Arenado on a sinker down and in on the right-handed hitter Arenado. He drove it into left center field out of the reach of Peterson, and then it was just a matter of chasing the ball down and getting it off to the races. Parra had to come pick it up. The long throw in, and Nolan with the feet first slide into third ahead of the tag of Ramirez.
Three triples for Nolan. Paulson at the plate with 1 strike. It is imperative with 1 out. The infield's back naturally. The Brewers still have a 4-run lead. Imperative that Ben gets this run home. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield hit for Paulson his last time up. 2 for his last 16 at the plate. And this will get the job done. And even better, it's into the right center field gap. Paulson's digging for second. He's going to have a double. Ben Paulson makes it 6-3, his 12th RBI.
12 RBIs now for Ben Paulson with his base hit into right center field on the ground. Again, it's second time through the lineup against Youngman. And now the Rockies starting to take advantage of this. High fives for everybody in the dugout right now. In a 6-3 ball game. 5 hits on the board for the Rockies for this inning. 2 of them extra base hits. The triple and now the double for Ben Paulson.
Well, now you have a legitimate shot at a 4-run inning. Nick Hundley with Paulson in scoring position and 1 out. Nick bounced into a force out to end the second inning. Only hitting .318 against righties. And he drives it foul the other direction. Christian Bergman's up again.
They climb back into this ball game, down a couple of men in scoring position and 2 outs. You've got to have your bullpen ready in case you go to your bench.
Nick tried to hold up. Ground ball to Rogers, 2 outs. We'll see if they pass on Barnes with De La Rosa on deck. 2 outs, first base open.
Later in the ball game, they may do that. Early now with a 3-run lead, I don't think they would do it. And the only reason I say that, they think he has good enough stuff to attack Barnes and see if he can get him out, because it's the 4th inning, not the 7th. See, I look at it from a different perspective. If you do pass on him, now you force Walt's hand with 1st and 3rd to get De La Rosa out and go to your bullpen.
So which is it? Which would you do?
I would pass him and force the hand.
Well, I'm with you, especially when it works the other way. When the Rockies have been in this situation, yeah, in a perfect world, you have the pitcher spot leading off the next inning. But especially in this ballpark, you just can't give away runs. And if Barnes comes through here, it's now a 2-run game. And then if you do the pitch around, this is a kid, man. He just came up a week and a half ago.
Part of that may be also they don't have the extra arm in their bullpen. I don't know. I'm going to pass on him, and I'm going to force the hand of Walt to go ahead with men at 1st and 3rd and 2 outs to go to your bench and your bullpen after 4 innings.
Two and 2. Barnes fouls that fastball off. Paulson at 3rd, 3 runs in the inning for the Rockies. Three and 2. De La Rosa on deck, and there's no one around the bat rack. So I mean, if Barnes were to walk, De La Rosa's going to hit. It appears. 2 outs. That's a factor also.
Yeah, there could be one up inside hitting in the cages up there too.
Well, that's what just happened. Descalso just walked from the tunnel in. This is on the ground at 3rd. And Ramirez throws out Barnes. That'll end the inning, but the Rockies get back in the ball game. 3 runs on 4 hits in the inning for Colorado as we go to the 5th. It's now a 6-3 game. Arenado has a big blow, a 2-run triple. The Rockies trailing 6-3. The Brewers have scored every inning so far. Ryan Braun a 2-run home run in the first, but the Rockies countered with 3 in the bottom half of the 4th inning to get back in this ball game. So we'll go to the 5th. Jason Rogers will lead it off at 6, 7, and 8 in the Brewers lineup against De La Rosa. Jorge out of Monterrey, Mexico. Rogers a strikeout and a walk. And the slider's in there for a strike. Brewers just 3-10 competing against National League West teams this year. It's outside. So Craig Counsell, who was always a very well liked and respected scrappy player, always a guy like that's described in such a fashion. Hero from the '97 World Series championship team of the Florida Marlins. Walt Weiss has great respect for Counsell, who kind of followed him to Denver. A shortstop. Guys very cerebral when they play. Got the absolute most out of their ability. 2-2. Counsell took over for another guy that was very well liked and had some success in Milwaukee, Ron Renneke. Remember, the Brewers were a big story, George, for about 4.5 months in baseball last year. Led in National League Central, the very competitive National League Central. They just fell apart late in the season.
Well, listen, manager's success is based on how your players play and how they pitch. And if they don't pitch or play well, guess what? You're not going to have a very good record as a manager. And the Brewers were lights out for 4.5 months last year, and then things went south. You see the comparison in the records so far.
They didn't give up
what they've done.
Yeah, they didn't give up that division lead till August 31st last year. They went 9-22. Their final 31 games, ended up finishing in 3rd place. Very disappointing. And then when they had the poor April, Doug Melvin pulled the plug on Ron Renneke. But I'm with you, George. I mean, people might not like to hear this, but a manager can't go out there and pitch, can't go out there and, you know, hit 3rd in the lineup. And it's exactly as you described.
Well, I think the big thing for a manager, Drew, if they communicate well with you as a player individually and as a team, your team's more likely going to have pretty good success because you know right where you stand as a player. And I think that's where all the great managers in this game, Tony La Russa, Billy Martin, Jim Leland, they communicated with their players. Whitey Herzog. They knew exactly where they stood, what their role was, and what I need you for.
Well, again, having said that, Tony La Russa is going to argue how great he's been as a manager. But if he didn't have the arms he had.
Oh, no question. Bobby Cox is another one. 3 Hall of Famers that he managed during that 14-year period in Atlanta.
And the easiest example, and Joe Torre, being the humble guy that he is, be the first to tell you, Joe's in the Hall of Fame. He's a great player. Joe has a great managerial record, but nobody was saying that when he was managing the Mets or the Braves or the Cardinals. That's when he arrived in New York with the Yankees, and he had a lot of talent. And he could manage in New York. Now, I give him a lot of credit because, as you know, George, you played there. It's hard to manage in the Bronx. It's hard to do anything baseball-wise in the Bronx.
He managed George real well. Steinbrenner, he kept as a good buffer between George and the players.
Three and two on Shane Peterson, a single and a walk. The walk drove in a run. It was with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. This will probably be De La's last inning. That's a base hit. He's due to lead off next inning. And his pitch count's in the mid-90s.
Saturday, July 11th is University of Nebraska night. Nebraska Husker fans can purchase a special ticket package to receive a limited edition Husker-themed Rockies hat. So make sure you get out and purchase that and head to the ballpark July 11th versus the Atlanta Braves.
And I know this. I know it's popular because of the connection with CU and CSU in state, but especially in western Nebraska, a lot of Rockies fans come down from North Platte, western part of the state. Go to the eastern part of the state, more Royals fans. Cargo makes a catch. Perez is retired. And that'll bring up 6'7" Taylor Youngman. Youngman hits a floater to shallow right. Cargo.
Boy, that's his first major league hit.
Yeah, Cargo was in a difficult spot. He was going to dive and he realized he couldn't get to it. And then ricocheted off his leg, and Peterson ended up taking an extra base. And they'll have to attach an error to the end of that play on Gonzalez.
You're not exactly right. I mean, this ball's going to jump out in front of him. As soon as it got there, it just ricocheted up on his knees. He got in an in-between position. Well, do I dive or do I stay up straight? Fourth error of the season on Gonzalez.
You get some errors in the outfield that there's really not much you can do. I mean, yeah, you know what? He could have jogged in and said, I'm not even going to give it full effort and let it drop and field it on one hop, and it would have been first and second, but he made the right play trying to get there, and then he ran himself into an in-between situation. There are times an outfielder will throw the ball in, and for some reason ball skips past a fielder. They have to, attach an error, and it should be handled in the infield, and it's not. The outfielder gets an error. Most importantly, you got to get Gene Segura right now. Foul back, 1-1.
Put 3 on the board, put up a 0, and you'd like to get this last out, last pitch, last strike. They ended here in the 5th inning.
In a position to do that right now. It's 1-2 on Segura.
Typically, this is where the changeup would show up. That's what Nick Hundley has relayed.
On the ground to third. Arenado, great strong throw off a 3/4 arm angle. So in the 5th inning, for the first time, De La Rosa keeps Milwaukee off the board at 6-3.
baseball cards too at the ballpark. That's why for Fan Friday we are doing some work with some baseball cards. Dougie gave me this one. This is a Mickey Mantle card from back in the 50s. This is old school, maybe worth something. But I want to go from this Yankees card to another Yankees card that was tweeted in at @RootSports_RM. Look at this one of John Elway when he played in Oneonta in the New York Penn League. I want to give you guys his numbers from that year in '82. Hit .318 in 42 games. 4 homers, 25 ribbies, stole 13 bags. Jim DeShays was on that team. Did not make an error in the outfield at all. And everybody knew that he could play. The Yankees took him in the second round, and then, of course, he went on to play football. But that is a pretty cool card to have, a pinnacle card of John Elway.
You have that one, Mark?
I don't have that one. No, I mean, that was sent in.
How many cards do you have at home?
You know what? All my cards are from the mid-'80s. I went to spring training a couple of years, and then I would go to the vet and get some autographed. I probably have, a few hundred autographs, which was kind of neat. Just players that I saw. And I have Tony Gwynn, as Descalso pinch hits and gets a hit up the middle. You know, I got Barry Bonds rookie card, Larkin, Schmidt, some Hall of Famers. Guys I watched on TV. Frazier, I watched you all the time.
That's your fault.
I went to Wrigley and saw you pitch.
Hey, that's your fault, Mark.
Yeah.
You used to swear at him, didn't you?
Nah.
Were you that drunk college guy out in the bleachers at Wrigley Field?
We came to see the Cubs and the Cardinals in like '85. I was a year out of college, and I remember you warming up in the pen down the sideline.
It
was cold. I had to get a Cubs sweatshirt. I was freezing.
I tell you what, Dougie's got some cards up here. I'm looking at some of these cards.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Nolan Ryan, Hank Aaron.
I saw George pitch at Wrigley in
Dwight Gooden.
'85. I threw something at him.
Brooks Robinson.
True.
Descalso with the base hit. Are you looking at Dougie's stuff? Dougie's got great cards. He's got a lot of reds.
Some great ones, yeah.
He's got Pete Rose, Joe Morgan.
He's got some Al K lines.
How about this one? He's got Fergie Jenkins, George, with the Red Sox.
Whitey Ford. What year is that, Dougie? That's back. 56, Whitey Ford.
You know what? We may have to steal some of these from Doug. Is he paying
Drew,
attention?
that's not nice.
It's just Doug. .1-0 on Blackman. Descalso got a huge jump. They pitch out, and he's out. It's interesting. Descalso got the big jump, but it's almost as if Milwaukee knew he was going to go.
8 of 14 now for Lucroy on the season. It would be base steal. You get a little bit of time. You get that Jerry Narron, a former catcher in his own right, manager.
I'm a little
bench coach.
He didn't look back. That was straight steal. I'm a little surprised because you're down 3 runs and you got the top of the order up and you're coming off a 3-run inning.
Momentum. Try to get some things going. What do you got to lose? 10 games under 500. Let it fly. I like it. Be aggressive. Get after it.
And a 4-pitch walk to Blackman.
Do you remember Bobby Avila?
I do.
I don't. Just testing you. It was in the stack. Yeah, it's in the stack.
We just won a Harmon Killer group.
Oh, there was about 6 in here. Here, go ahead.
How about lefty? Dougie's got Steve Carlton. Doug, you ever gotten any values on these? What's the most expensive card you have? You can say it. You don't have to write it down. I'll give you a 56 Mantle. How much is that worth? That's the one Mark had, right? 500 to 600, depending on condition.
You mean that one Mark was crumpling up? That one?
The one that just got devalued. DJ base hit his last time up. And Blackmon takes off, and the throw's not going to get Charlie. It skips away for a moment. And Charlie has a stolen base for Blackmon. That's his 16th.
The Rockies had such a tough time the first 3 innings stealing first base. Now that they are doing that, they're trying to advance and get into scoring position with 1 out. Charlie, big jump and on the money, hanging on dearly for the bag at second base. Remember the other night Charlie called out. By the way, the Rockies in the last 10 ball games have scuffled with this category. 12 for 69 with runners in scoring position last 10 ball games.
And most of the year they've been very good in that category of hitting with runners in scoring position. Youngman all of a sudden can't find the strike zone. 6 straight out of the zone. 2-0 on LeMahieu.
Trying to find his way. Now think about this. Pick up his 2nd win in the big leagues. He's got a lead 6-3. It's the 5th inning. He's trying to close things out a little bit. Sometimes that's the hardest outs to get.
Nobody studies more tape than Charlie Blackmon. It's not just looking at his swing or looking at the opposition pitcher. He'll look at the pitcher and figure out his move, figure out how often he looks, his times to the plate. It's one of the things that's helped Charlie become a very good base stealer. Expect a guy out of Georgia Tech to be a studious fella. DJ fouls that pitch off.
And you're thinking about it as a 2-pitch pitcher, you know, you just as a hitter, okay, is one going to turn right, one going to turn left? The slider's going to work away, the sinker's going to come into me. It's just a matter of making that adjustment out front, reading the seams and off the baseball, the spin of the baseball.
Ball's popped up to shallow left. Coming on is Shane Peterson. He's got it, 2nd out of the inning. I'll bring up Tulowitzki. Troy a single in the 4th inning, and we come around to score. Tulo, a career average of .408 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Two and oh. Guy on that list of all-time averages against the Brewers that haven't made mention of in a long time. Remember Johnny Ray, George?
Oh yeah, grew up in Oklahoma.
And Cecil Cooper played for a long time with Milwaukee, but he also hit against them well.
Well, he's with the Boston Red Sox for a long time.
Yeah, Yvonne Calderon. Barry Bonds probably on a lot of those lists, huh? All-time average against teams. Two 2-0 on Tulowitzki. Most of his repertoire is centered around that fastball, that cross-firing fastball.
Yeah, see if he goes back to that breaking ball. He threw one Troy on a 1-0 count. Pretty good pitch. Taken for a ball.
Curveball called a strike. Troy thought that was in. That ends the inning. The Rockies will leave Blackman at second. We'll go to the 6th inning.
Use the hashtag FanFridayZBB. We'll give away some Zach Brown Band tickets. They'll be here in a couple of weeks. Got a Don Newcombe card. It's Topps Baseball Card Day here at the ballpark. This is one of Dougie's. Don Newcombe turned 89 this week. He was a teammate of Duke Snider's on the Brooklyn Dodgers, and we got this really cool picture in an autographed Duke Snider photo from Bob. So we're just talking about memorabilia. Duke Snider debuted in 1947. Same year as Jackie Robinson. He was 20, and he played in 40 games that year for the Dodgers guys. And how about to be in New York in the 50s with Willie, Mickey, and the Duke all playing center field for the 3 teams, huh?
That was a special time in the city, wasn't it? First pitch from Bergman to Parra is a high fly ball to deep center. And Blackman will make the catch. Gerardo Parra is retired, so Christian Bergman on for De La Rosa. De La Rosa, 5 innings, 6 runs, 11 hits, a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. He hit a batter, so first tough outing for De La Rosa in quite a while. And as you look at Bergman's numbers,
well, Christian Bergman, he was up 3 times. 3rd time's the charm. If you don't get in the ball game then, basically all managers will shut you down for the rest of the night. And he knows how to monitor his warm-ups pretty well. So he got hot once, and then the next time, as wasn't quite as hot this last time, yes. So still has gas in the tank. Still here to throw against Ryan Braun through the fastball by to get ahead 0-1.
Two strikes on Braun.
Movie nights back on Sunday, July 12th. All fans are invited to stay and watch the Rookie following the game versus the Braves. Purchase the movie night ticket package to access the field for the movie and receive a special blanket.
One and two. Ryan Braun and Troy Tulowitzki remain close friends. We talked about that earlier. They also share a bond that they share with a number of other guys. They're out of that historic 2005 first round. Justin Upton, the #1 pick. Alex Gordon, #2. Jeff Clement was drafted 3rd by Seattle. Obviously, it didn't work out for Clement. Then Ryan Zimmerman, drafted by Washington. Braun 5th to Milwaukee. This is popped up and caught by Paulson. Ricky Romero went to Toronto. He's had a solid career. Tulo went to the Rockies next. With the 11th pick, the Pirates took a fella by the name of Andrew McCutchen. With the 12th pick, Jay Bruce went to Cincinnati. South Texas kid. 23rd pick in that first round that year, Jacoby Ellsbury to Boston. How good was that 05 draft?
Yeah, pretty good draft there. Kind of like what Youngman went through with the 2012 draft. The 2011 draft, that all the pitchers that were in that thing, it was the year of the pitcher. They haven't all panned out yet, but a lot have. Cole being one of them. He'll probably start for the National League. St. Louis all over Philly 12-4. Who's number 70 for St. Louis, by the way? Good clean inning for Berkman.
Lucroy flies to center, and that is the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for the Rockies. 6-3 Brewers. It's Fan Friday here on Root Sports. League leaders are brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Home run leaders in the month of June. Giancarlo Stanton has hit 10. Rockies know all about Stanton this month. Cargo's hit 6 along with Todd Frazier. In fact, Frazier's hit 4 in the last 2 days. Cargo tonight. Ground ball to second and a line drive to left center that was caught by Peterson. Taylor Youngman, in his third major league start, has been solid in all three. Side on Gonzalez. Cargo's hit 20 of his last 24 games, hitting over 300 in the month of June as well.
The one guy they got down in their bullpen that's pretty tough, and that's Will Smith, the left-hander. Throws it very hard, got a good one. You look for him to try to have a matchup with Cargo. If this game stays the same, it gets into that 7-8 range. They need to get Cargo out in the 8th. That'll be a guy they'll go to, I guarantee you. Of course, the 9th inning with a 3-run lead belongs to K-Rod. You know, we mentioned that class of 2011, Drew, the notable pitchers in that draft. You look at it right now. Garrett Cole's 11-2. Archie Bradley, after being hit, hadn't been the same. He's on the DL right now. Youngman's here. Jose Fernandez coming off the elbow surgery. He's pitched extremely well. And then Sonny Gray, meet the 18th overall pick in the draft, 8-3 with a 160 earned run average.
Two, 3-2.
Yeah, they went to go get a little extra. One of the hardest fastballs thrown tonight at 93 and missed badly.
Last year, the Rockies took Tyler Anderson out of Oregon. Strike 3 on Gonzalez. Tyler trying to recover from an elbow injury. Rockies also in that supplemental first round took Trevor Story, Texas high school shortstop, who's doing well right now for the Rockies AA.
Yeah, you never know until they get out and play and they spend that 5, sometimes less amount of time, but mostly the high school kids, they get here when they're 23, 24 years old, unless you're Nolan. That's a special player. How well they can just handle it all. It's not an easy trail by any means.
Curveball and a good one.
Same one that he threw to Tulowitzki for the strikeout. You talk about another pretty good class too, Nolan Arenado in the Arizona Fall League class of Bryce Harper, Trout. Nolan was the MVP. Another guy that performed there has gone on to be pretty good. Dallas Keuchel, 8-2 now with the Houston Astros.
Down the line and it goes foul.
In the 4th inning, Nolan came up big for the Rockies. He had that triple out into left center field. That was RBIs 52 and 53 when the ball got back, and it was Troy Tulowitzki that came around to score along with DJ LeMahieu on that triple.
Quiet 7-game hitting streak going for Nolan. Two, and that's going to get through. Base hit. Good piece of hitting there by Nolan. Took that pitch the other way, down over the plate. Second hit for Arenado, and that'll bring up Ben Paulson, who's 2 for 2.
Yeah, very good swing by Nolan. The ball away from him on the outside corner, head right on the baseball, stiff front side. Ball away, go away with it. Shot it right past Perez at second base into the outfield.
An interesting set of numbers on Ben Paulson. First time up this year. First time he hits against a pitcher. He's hitting .315. Very good. Second time up, he's hitting 100 for whatever reason. Third time up, .538. Well, this is his third time against Young.
Yeah, second time he had a double though.
Well, he messed that up, didn't he?
Did he mess that up a little bit?
Messed
but
up.
it is important. That is very intriguing numbers.
I'm kind of intrigued by Ben Paulson. If the Rockies organization is as well. He's done a nice job. Did a nice job when he was called up late last year. Got a thump in his bat. A professional approach. Real good teammate. Grew up in a baseball environment.
He likes to eat at Sam's number 3 too, by the way.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, that's not all bad either then.
No, it wasn't.
Scott Oberg.
Start to work your way down. By the way, Rafael Betancourt threw a simulated game today. Faced live hitters. Threw the ball well. Came out of it fine.
And Rafi's going to go out and pitch for Albuquerque on Sunday against Tacoma. Cots on the left side. Who was the biggest character as a bullpen coach you had in your career? This ball's driven to left center. What did I tell you about that third time throw?
500, huh? Here we go.
Around third, here comes Nolan. He'll score standing up. Paulson to third. Triple for Ben. And it's a 6-4 game.
Boy, a single by Nolan Arenado. He got a triple earlier. Did you see his speed come to life on this triple by Ben Paulson? And watching Paulson, not a typical first baseman. When he got to second base, boy, the strides got longer. He cut the bag perfectly as he came in. Nolan's going to score easily, but Paulson flying around second base. Second triple this season for Ben Paulson. And here's going to watch those wheels spread and start to glide. The ball's right out in front of him. And you realize this very smooth runner. Wasn't fighting himself much at all. Very good running form as he came in to third base.
Ben with 3 of the Rockies' 8 hits. He's driven in 2 of their 4 runs. Nick Hundley 0 for 2. 1 out. The Rockies with the infield back have a great chance to get that 5th run home. Rockies were down 6-0 in this game after 3.5 innings. That's a strike.
One out. You probably mentioned this, but the infield's so deep. I mean, they're just hit the ball up the middle anywhere. Hit the ball on the right side. Tried to.
He's basically getting in play.
They won't give you the run unless it's hit very hard right at Ramirez. Anything else, you've got to run in.
Practices get him in situations every single day in batting practice. The difference is it's not 57, 58 miles an hour. Now it's 93, 94.
The sinker cut.
And The strikeout is a big one by Youngman. Now there's 2 outs. Brandon Barnes. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code is RocksWin at papajohns.com. 4th strikeout for Taylor Youngman. See if Brandon Barnes can come through with 2 outs.
Rosario stepped out into the on-deck circle to pinch hit. Remember, the Rockies working with a 4-player bench right now, carrying the extra pitcher in the bullpen.
And this is a pop-up on the right side. Braun comes on, he makes the catch, and the Rockies get just 1. It's an opportunity to get Paulson home, but Ben Paulson's triple scored Nolan Arenado. It's 6-4. Getting interesting here at Coors Field.
And Friday, it's Topps card night here at the ballpark. Ben Paulson told me that he had a rookie Emmitt Smith card, and he put it in a super secret place as a kid, and he's yet to find it. But at least it's going up in value. He hasn't found it. We want to show you a picture of a set that we have from Brent. This is a 93 Topps team set. The first one of the Rockies with David Need, without a glove, but, you know, with the motion over his head. And he said it's mint. It's unopened. So it's kind of a cool thing to have. Hashtag Fan Friday ZBB still giving away some Zach Brown Band tickets. They're here in a couple of weeks, guys.
So Ben Paulson has a missing Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. And I asked Christian Bergman what his first card was, and he said a set of 93 Seattle Mariners cards. And I said, why Seattle? He's like, I don't know. That's what I got. Yeah, super secret spot. It's still secret.
Yeah, I hope Dad didn't sell the house.
That's funny.
Nobody's going to find this one,
including me. Ramirez, a home run, a single, and a double in 4 at bats. Jason Rogers 0 for 2 and a walk, 2 strikeouts for Rogers. Below the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Milwaukee tonight, most of the runs coming on the home run. They have had 7 chances with runners in scoring position. They're 1 for 7. The Rockies are 2 for 9.
Two and 2. Did you have a card growing up?
Cards.
I mean, you had plenty of cards, but did you have a card that was like?
Well, Bob Gibson. I was a big Cardinal guy. You know, because the Royals weren't around then.
That is a fair ball. That'll go into the corner, and it'll score Ramirez, and it's going to end up a triple for Rogers. 7 of 4. You know, this is one of the things that's hurt the Rockies the last couple of days. Number one, the Rockies have fallen behind, oftentimes by significant margins, but late in the game they've kind of crawled back in, and only to see the opposition add on late.
Yeah, that's the toughest part about it. The Rockies have a couple going down in the bullpen. Boone Logan, LaTroy Hawkins are both warming up down there. This ball snuck right inside the foul line, down the right field line. As it got down into the corner, though, Cargo tried to cut this off a little bit early, and when he did, the ball got by him just for a second. That allowed Rogers to scoot into third. He has 7 RBIs this year. And as Drew mentioned, a 3-run lead instead of a 2-run lead now. Nobody outrunner at third base. The infield will be halfway.
Yesterday was the 3-run home run off the bench by Domingo Santana in the 8th inning. That turned a 5-3 game into an 8-3 game. The day before was a 2-run home run in the 9th inning by Chris Carter. Score went from 6-3 to 8-3 that night. George Springer hit a 7th inning home run in a 6-3 victory 3 days ago. Too many runs, too many hits. 7 runs, 13 hits. And Milwaukee, a team that has really been struggling offensively, has scored in 5 of the 7 innings that they've come to the plate. 3 and 2. We count on Shane Peterson.
Yeah, not a good night down in Albuquerque. Tacoma on top 10-2. Blonde started that.
That's a base hit up the middle, and that will make it 8-4. Shane Peterson's had a perfect night. 2 for 2, excuse me, 3 for 3 and a walk, 2 ribbies.
Well, fans, it's time to vote for your Rockies All-Stars. Vote 35 times on the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot exclusively at Rockies.com. Don't miss the 86th All-Star Game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, all on Tuesday, July the 14th.
Hernan Perez at the plate after that meeting at the mound has concluded. 8-4. Top of the 7th inning, still nobody out. Peterson at first, and wow, watch the top of your cap. Well, Bergman had a clean 6th inning, but 4 straight hits, double, triple, single, has greeted him here in the 7th.
Yeah, and Hector Gomez, a former Rocky, will come on now and pinch hit. Former shortstop, top prospect. Walt will go to the bullpen as soon as he found out that LaTroy was ready. Buying a little bit more time before he gets out to the mound, and he's made the official move. Told Jim Wolf out at second base, give me the right-hander, and that'll be it for Christian Bergman.
8-4, Milwaukee out in front. We're in the 7th inning.
...2015 Major League Draft. While on the East Coast, so Spilly also made it the 2-hour trek up to New Britain, Connecticut, to watch, catch up with some of the Rockies' future stars playing in Double-A Rockies. That's all on Rockies Real Time tonight after the ball game, so tune in for that. And you can see Trevor Story and Murphy, a couple of the players there that have performed very, very well. It's all after the post game tonight. Troy Hawkins enters the ball game, making his 12th appearance, first and second. Nobody out, trying to pick up his fellow bullpen mate. Well, it looks like he'll start it out well. There's one, and on to first for the double play. The former Rocky, Hector Gomez, hits into the double play. And now you got 2 outs, runner at third. Good job for LaTroy Hawkins. Well, let's take a further look at LaTroy's numbers. 1-1 on the season. ERA kind of blown up early in the earlier part of the year. 11 strikeouts in 10 innings, just 3 walks.
Peterson at third. Gene Segura at the plate. And that's fouled off. Strike on Segura, the one-time Brewer. LaTroy Hawkins on the mound. Inside. Talking to Jonathan Lucroy about what guys he was close with the Rockies. First guy I mentioned, because LaTroy, he said, one of my all-time favorite teammates. Those catchers and pitchers get to spend a lot of time together. John Axford, another one of his teammates that he really enjoyed playing with. That's at the bottom of the strike zone. Good pitch from Hawk.
And a compliment to Hawk, too, because it just tells you I don't feel comfortable swinging the bat, even though you got 2 outs, 1-1 count. You got a fastball in, trying to lay a bunt there. 2 strikes now. Make the pitch and get out of this inning.
Here's the 1-2. Slowly hit to third, and no play for Aaron. Good pitch, bad result. I think even if Nolan gets out with the bare hand, George, it's going to be tough because Segura runs really well.
Really well, but it's a 9-4 game now. That will close the books on Christian Bergman. He'll give up 3 runs in the inning. Just on the inside on the hands, tapped. Nolan playing extremely deep behind third. Going to have a bang bang play, and I don't think that it had that chance to really get after it, be able to make the play and to get Seager.
Three runs in 1+ for Christian Bergman. Parra is 2 for 4. 16 hits to produce the 9 runs for Milwaukee. Hits matches a season high. They've done it 3 times. In that first series of the year, when the Rockies were at Miller Park, they won 10-0, 5-2, and 5-4 in 10 innings. So the Brewers in 3 games scored 6 runs on 21 hits. 6 runs, 21 hits in 3 games. Tonight, in the 7th inning, they have 9 runs on 16 hits. You especially wouldn't have thought it would happen tonight with De La Rosa on the mound as well as he had been throwing.
In a record at home, 22-2 since 2013.
Move off the plate, 1-2. Swung on a miss. So Hawkins strikes out Parra. Hawkins does a nice job, but in the inning, 3 more runs for Milwaukee. They're up 9-4. Could Lexus look back on his #1 volume Lexus dealer? Ryan brought a 2-run home run in the first. Aramis Ramirez went opposite field The Rockies bullpen in the first, and the Brewers were off to a 3-0 start. The Rockies down 6-0 and kind of tried to climb back in, and Arenado a triple, and then this triple by Ben Paulson got it to 6-4. Unfortunately, Milwaukee just added 3 in the top of the 7th, so it's 9-4. 9 runs, 16 hits, no errors for Milwaukee, 4-8-1 for the Rockies. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Mark Stapp on this Fan Friday. Corey Nebel's in the ball game now, 14th appearance, and leading off for the Rockies will be a pinch hitter, Rafael Noah.
Well, a minute ago, Rosario was out to pinch hit, but that's when you had a couple of guys, or a chance to have a couple of guys on base and give yourself an opportunity to tie the ball game with one swing. Now you're down 5, so Noah will get the call here in the 7th inning.
Rafi trying to snap out of a 1 for 16. Ball and 2 strikes, signing Noah. And Knebel's pitches up high, 2-2. Knebel's another product of the University of Texas, Austin. On the ground to third, Aramis Ramirez.
He might be retiring, but he's pretty automatic with the glove in the arm, isn't he?
Always been really smooth.
First 10,000 through the gates on tomorrow's ball game. We'll receive a drink tumbler sponsored by King Soopers. Make sure you get by the ballpark. Showed you that yesterday on air. One of the nicer giveaways here at the park.
Ball is driven to left center field by Blackman. This is Triple's alley if you get around second, but down by 5 runs. Charlie, you'll do the wise thing and stop.
Second straight hit for Charlie. He walked back in the 5th, a single in the 6th, now a double here in the 7th. We'll go back and look at the pitch. We'll go back and look at the pitch from Charlie. Ball up and away from him. Charlie able to take this ball and drive it into left center field. And you're right, great call by Charlie. Slow things down and make it a double. Why try to extend it when you're down 5? Keep this thing going and get to the top of this lineup, the middle of this lineup, and let it go to work.
DJ's 1 for 3, and that one is gloved by Knebel. Two outs. Here comes Tula.
Fifth inning, 3-2 curveball. They were able to strike out Tula. Kind of surprise pitch. The Indian. Pittman had not been consistent with his breaking ball all night, but the last 2 innings it became very consistent when he needed it. He went after it. High heat at 96. Well, that's nasty. High heat about chest high, inner half of the plate, and then you come right back on the outside corner black. I mean, you could have painted it into the corner of the strike zone any better than that. Holy cow. And he got the call. Bill Miller behind the plate, the crew chief of these 4 umpires.
0-2. Knebel was part of the Yvonne Gallardo deal. Gallardo was sent to Texas. This kid's a former #1 of the Detroit Tigers. Closer at UT for 3 years.
The thing about it, with the failures, injuries, and all the problems you've had with Milwaukee's pitching staff, these guys having a halfway decent year, they're going to get here in a hurry. They're going to get an opportunity.
Well, this is normal for Knebel to follow Youngman. He did it at Texas, and he did it in high school at Georgetown High School in Texas. Isn't that something? And now they're on the same team in the big leagues.
All right, you're buying breakfast tomorrow. No, it's your turn. Remember, I got Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You got Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Sunday, you're on your own.
Isn't that something?
That is pretty cool.
High school together, college together, and the big leagues
Yeah.
together. And one guy's a starter, and one guy's always been the finisher. How about that high school team? How'd you like to hit against them on Friday night?
Timeout.
2-2. 97 with that fastball.
It amazes me a lot of times to see a guy throw the ball 97 and put it on the corner black. But it's also more amazing to me that a hitter can make contact with the ball. I mean, even if it's fouling it off, some of them hit the ball out of the ballpark. The great ones like Troy can do that. But they just get a pitch like that and they have the ability to put a good swing on it. It just amazes me.
As you've often said, it's called the big leagues for a reason. And Troy bounces that fair. Long throw with Ramirez, and he got it. He bounced it over, and it skipped into the glove of Jason Rogers, and that ends the inning. So we'll go to the 8th. It remains 9-4.
Really nice play to end the inning here. He's going to scoot it across the infield on natural. 2-hopper and a pick by Rogers.
baseball card night here at the ballpark, and that's why for Fan Friday we were showing some really cool baseball cards, and we're also giving away some Zach Brown tickets too. So we'll have another winner, Zach Brown band, coming here to Coors Field in a couple of weeks. I'm going to show you the first card for Dante Bichette. Dante debuted in 1988. He was 24 with the California Angels, wearing number 11. Yes, the California Angels. So there's Dante's first card, the famous Rocky, and we go from a player's first card to a player's last card. Another one that Doug hooked me up with. This is Roberto Clemente, and on the back it even says Roberto collected his 3,000th hit in 1972. He, of course, passed away New Year's Eve in Puerto Rico prior to 1973. So that's how we'll wrap up Fan Friday. Thanks for the help. Everybody sent some really cool photos, and we looked at some pretty cool baseball cards.
Yeah, Mark, that was fun. That was a great idea.
Yeah.
We ought to do that again. That was a good deal. Scott Oberg's on the mound for the Rockies as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Ryan Braun, Jonathan Lucroy, Ramos Ramirez. Scott looking to bounce back his last outing. Give up that home run. That's the one bugaboo for Oberg. It's a big bugaboo. You can't give up the long ball coming out of the bullpen late, but we've seen him really sharp at times.
His stuff's unhittable. It's just the command of the stuff, being consistent with it all the time. I think that's the hardest part for him so far.
He's given up 8 home runs out of the pen, and that's the most of any reliever in the National League. Part of the process of learning how to succeed at this level. But as you said, George, the stuff is there.
Yes, it is.
2-1
Very
on
good
Braun.
stuff.
And Braun hits it hard, but at the wrong spot. DJ's got it. DJ hasn't made an error since May the 1st. 43 straight games of errorless baseball. Jonathan Lucroy, a single and a sac fly, so 1 for 3 officially. On Lucroy. Brewers have lost 6 straight entering the ball game tonight. 3-0. Lucroy hit .301 a year ago. 7th best in the National League. Led the league with those 53 doubles when he set a major league mark by a catcher. It's a 4-pitch walk. Well, let's give you a glimpse of what occurred tonight in the Bronx. Alex Rodriguez coming up, and the fans have forgiven. And they're standing and watching as he lifted a high fly ball to right center field, and it leaves the ballpark. And it gave the Yankees a 1-0 lead, but for A-Rod it was career hit number 3,000, and he got a standing ovation at Yankee Stadium. You know who also had his 3,000th hit as a home run? You saw it on that graphic. Wade Boggs, and the guy I was referring to, Derek Jeter. Jeter always had a flair for the dramatic. Rockies out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 9-4 Milwaukee. ball game. And it'll be Chad Bettis for the Rockies against the veteran right-hander Kyle Loesch for Milwaukee. So Chad trying to bounce back after a subpar outing in his last performance. He'll have the baseball for the 8th time. Rockies got after Kyle Loesch earlier this year. There's Chad, third from the right. Some changes for the Brewers to tell you about. Perez goes from second to third. His natural position is actually third. Scooter Gennett comes to the ball game at second, and the left-hander Will Smith is now on the mound.
Well, you look at his numbers: 31st appearance, 2-0 record, very good earned run average. And you can tell 30 games, 24 to third. A lot of his stuff has been situational left-hander. Get us out of the 8th inning, end it, hand the ball over to K-Rod. 32 strikeouts, just 9 walks. Left-hander can really dominate. Big arm. Lefty's 237. Right-handers, not much about it. Not much above that.
Ground out, fly out, strikeout for Cargo against Youngman. He gets a slider on the first pitch. It's 0-1. Smith retires. Gonzalez. Arenado will be next. Who wants tacos? Fans follow at Root Sports _RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. That's on the ground to third. Perez throws across, 2 outs. You know what happens, George, and you know this to be true. It's not like late in the ball game when you're down by 5 or 6 or 7. You're going up there and giving away at bats. But when you come to the plate 600 times, if you're a regular player, when you get in late game situations and it's a 1-run game or it's tied, 1 run either way, your natural attention is more acute. And again, it's not like you're giving away the at-bat when you're down by 5 or 6, but it's harder to have that same focus.
Well, there's no question. It's like the closer asking you to pitch in a 10-1 game. I mean, you don't want to give away an at-bat. You don't want to give away the game. I mean, you're not going up there, but you know, typically you're also facing guys like Smith throwing gas with a nasty slider, and you're like, okay.
No, but
you're
it's,
right.
It's different.
It's not 0-0.
Right. If it's 4-4 right now, it's different.
Sure.
And unfortunately, you know, the Rockies are in this position the last 10 days where not only have they lost every game but one, but most of them have been somewhat lopsided. Seen a lot of faces like that lately.
I can tell you right now, when you're losing baseball games, it's not any fun. And it's no fun to work. I mean, it's just a very difficult time to come to the ballpark and put a foot forward every day. You're saying this is going to be the day we're going to start on a 10-game win streak.
And for the first time tonight, Paulson's retired. Smith works a 1-2-3 8th inning, 9-4 Milwaukee. lines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price in sales and service guaranteed. And by Saratoga Casino, so new, so you. Milwaukee got off to a 6-0 beginning, and they're enjoying a 9-4 lead at Coors Field. We go to center field now, check in on Jenny Kavner. Jenny, the wind's not blowing as much now.
The wind has died down just a bit. You need to pick up in the bottom of the ninth for the Rockies to try and hit some home runs and catch up. It was an uncharacteristic start for Jorge De La Rosa. We'll get you in the clubhouse on the Toyota postgame show and hopefully get some answers there. And we'll talk about timely hitting. It's something the Rockies have struggled with, especially at home. It's all coming up right after baseball. Drew, George, we'll send it to you guys.
Jenny, did my hair look windblown?
Your hair is always perfect, but even more important, the guy next to you, his hair
helmet
is
head.
Always perfect.
Just go ahead and say it, helmet head. Go ahead.
I don't think your hair's moved since 1970. I
stole
that line. I stole that line from Chris out here, so you know.
I understand.
Jenny, fortunately, he shaved off that mustache.
Oh, but next year it'll be a different look.
Jason Rogers at the plate. Scott Oberg's second inning of work, 1-0 on Rogers. Rogers had a triple to drive in a run in the 7th. Also a walk, 1 for 3. On the ground to third. Nice pickup by Nolan. One out. Tonight's game changer brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, as Jenny mentioned, De La Rosa was off a little bit tonight, and he paid for it. Aramis Ramirez made it 3-0 in the first after the Braun 2-run home run. He reached the bullpen there. And Milwaukee just kept adding on. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 3 more in the 7th. Shane Peterson, he's been on all 4 times tonight. 3 singles and a walk. He's driven in 2. He's fouled off.
See if you can flash other pitches other than just the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It just makes everything else better. Flash the backdoor slider. Give the good changeup. Show them different pitches than what you have other than a good heater.
Chop foul. Strike 3 on the corner.
Yeah, good pitch right on the outside part of the plate with some movement and velocity behind it. Caught very well by Hundley behind the plate, able to turn that glove in, keep it within the strike zone, and he got the strikeout. The big right-hander Jonathan Broxton has been throwing down in the bullpen for the Brewers. Not a safe situation, but I think Craig Counsell, enough games played in this ballpark that you got a lead, you go with the A team to pitch your 7, 8, and 9.
2 strikes on Perez. Ball, 2 strikes on kid who started at second, moved to third, started the year with the Tigers. An opportunity with Milwaukee, 2-2. Single and a double tonight for Perez. In the air to right. Cargo should have a play. Nicely done. And he keeps the baseball out as a souvenir. So Scott Oberg works a clean 9th inning. 2 solid innings from Oberg. 9-4 Milwaukee. Rockies will have Nick Hundley to lead things off, and big Jonathan Broxton will be looking to get the final 3 outs for Craig Counsell. 28th appearance for Broxton, the former closer with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who got to the big leagues at a very young age. He was 20. A kid from rural Georgia.
Has struggled this year to a 720 earned run average, but then you look at the peripheral, 25 innings pitched, 31 hits. Not so bad. 8 walks, not so bad. 28 strikeouts. What has jumps out, 5 home runs, 20 earned runs given up, in the opposition 307. You look at all the other numbers, you say, how's he got a 725 earned run average? Well, as a reliever, you get a couple of those bad outings that bunch up on you. It's tough to recover.
2 days ago, he turned 31. Guess we're getting old, huh?
Still throws hard. 91, 95. He's got a pretty good slider. This big man used to run it to 100.
Yeah, when he came up, he did run it into triple digits. 0-1 on Hundley. Nick off the end of the bat. That's got a lot of English on it. That's a fair ball. Dropped. Block it. They're calling him out because Hundley has to allow Rogers to field the baseball. The home plate umpire, Bill Miller, is calling him out. Walt's going to go out. That was Miller's call.
I thought he had a chance to catch the baseball. The baseball was well out in front of him, but the ball bounced away from him whenever Hundley got there. I know the call. I mean, you got to give him a chance to catch it, but see how far out he is here? Now he goes back to get the missed ball, and then Hundley runs into him. That's not Hundley's fault he missed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange deal because
lane.
Nick stopped to allow him to field it, and then when he fumbled it, now he's so close to him, it's almost impossible to avoid him. But again, the rule is you have to allow the fielder the ability to field the baseball.
Well, a lot of discussion with Walt and Bill Miller, and Hundley still at left first base. He's out visiting with Doug Eddies.
I think right now for Walt, it's just more about the last 10 days.
You blame him?
Not at all. So it goes in the book as 3 unassisted.
You got to allow him to field it, but once it popped back out again, I thought Hundley, he ran into him, prevented him from getting there.
I'm sure what Walt was saying, he was trying to avoid him. But one out, Brandon Barnes fouls off the first pitch. 0-1 on Barnes. 0 for 3 tonight. Hit to deep center field by Barnes and off the base of the wall. So Barnes will have a 1-out 9th inning double. Kind of one-handed that about 420 feet.
Strong man at the plate. Another look at it. You got a 9-4 ball game, thinking, all right, I'll get this slider, throw it on the outside corner, but he got a lot of bat speed going towards the ball. That drove the ball out into center field, out of the reach of Parra, and against that wall. Well, Marlene Rosario this year as a pinch hitter is 6 for 12, 245 if you take away the pinch hit numbers. There's an excellent job coming off the bench for the Rockies, ambushing that early pitch, that good fastball, slider, if they hang it.
And Rosario hits it in the air to right. Braun is there. Barnes will move up 90 feet, 2 outs.
Charlie 1 for 3 against Broxton.
Charlie doubled his last time up. Rockies with that double by Barnes, if it double digits in hits, they have 10 with just 4 runs. Rockies only significant inning, the 4th, when they scored 3 times. Had 4 hits in the inning. Got a 2-run triple from Nolan and a run-scoring double from Ben Paulson. 2 strikes on Blackman.
first couple of fastballs, 92, 93. The last two, 95, 96. A little more what you see out of Broxton lately.
Born in Augusta, Georgia. Famous golf tournament takes place there, George.
There is. Which one is that?
Tell you later.
Okay.
1-2. Pulled down the line, fair ball. So Blackman will have extra bases. In fact, Charlie's going to have a triple. He drives in Brandon Barnes. He makes it 9-5, and for Blackman, that's his third triple of the year. Third triple of the ball game for the Rockies.
24th RBI for Charlie. Things changed a little bit all of a sudden for the Rockies. That's why it's so important to have those shutdown innings in the middle of the ball game. Let yourself climb back in. He'd gone steady diet of fastballs away, trying to run the slider on the back foot to Charlie, and Charlie made him pay for it. Wide turn at first to get the angle going to second, and the angle all the way to third, and Charlie slides safely into third base.
DJ at the plate, inside, ball one.
JJ didn't like that. Yeah. I don't blame him. It was off the plate before the strike zone.
It looked in.
At 94 off the plate. Well, DJ will go about his business, and I think that's where he gains respect with umpires. He doesn't say anything. But when he does, they know that he's pretty adamant about knowing where the strike zone is.
1-1. 17th time in Rockies history they've hit 3 triples in a game. Shoot, Mike McHenry wasn't even playing, George.
The speed guy on the team.
Mike with 3 triples, his first 3 career triples, all in the last week and a half. 1-2. Tomorrow's game, a reminder, if you're coming out or watching with us at home, is a 2:10 start. We'll be on the air tomorrow at 1:30 with our pregame show on Root Sports. Here's the 1-2. 2-2. DJ does as well as any hitter in baseball. Hitting coaches will all tell you, from you're young on up, let the ball travel. Don't go get the baseball. Let the ball travel. And he lets the ball get deep. One of the reasons he goes to right field so well. 2-2. In 3-2. Good at bat.
Yeah, 0 for 1, so there's not a lot of history between he and Broxton. Tulowitzki's due up next. There's a lot of history, and it's not good. 1 for 18 against Broxton.
Now, all you can hope for being down to start the
turn the other way.
By 5 is you get the tying run to the plate. And if somehow you can get Cargo up there, he would be the tying run. 3-2.
Yeah, just so you know, K-Rod is up starting to play catch, rubbing the balls up and getting things going out in the bullpen right now. Yeah. Well, they're not going to let it get too far away, I can tell you that right now. He's been perfect along with John Axford in the save categories.
Well, if DJ reaches, it becomes a save situation.
Pretty good chance you'll see him too.
Strike 3 on LeMahieu. And he's hot at Bill Miller. And he just got fined for spiking his helmet. That's why you saw Miller point at him. That ends the baseball game. The Rockies have now lost 9 of 10. They fall tonight 9-5 to the Brewers. The Brewers snap a 6-game losing streak. Youngman, in his 3rd big league start, gets his 2nd victory. The former University of Texas star is 2-1. And Jorge De La Rosa, after 5 terrific outings, was not sharp tonight, and he suffers the loss. He is now 4-3. The Rockies, for the first time this year, 11 games south of 500. And they are now 13-21 at Coors Field. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Shane Peterson, one of several Brewers who had a big night. Shane Peterson was on 4 times this evening, 3 singles and a walk. He drove in a pair of runs. Once again, the final score, the Rockies fall 9-5 to the Brewers. We go to center field, where Jenny's standing by with Jeff Hewson and Ryan Spilborghs. Jenny?
Thanks, Drew. It gets harder and harder to watch the other team shake hands on your home field. The Rockies, they keep struggling at home.